Or we're rich. We have a lot of
Yeah,
Pokeballs.
we've spent like almost no money, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because you're a freaking loon.
Well, just little miserly, you know. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
A little miserly.
Just a skosh miserly.
Whenever I hear the word miser, I think of the Fall of the House of Usher.
The House of Usher?
No, it's Telltale Heart. I think of Edgar Allan Poe. I did
Huh.
as part of the theater program in my middle school, we did an Edgar Allan Poe. What is the word? Why is it that like the second I hop on a microphone, I forget how to say words? Anthology. We did like a little Edgar Allan Poe anthology where we did like 3 short stories, and one of them was Telltale Heart, and I will never ever forget reading that for the first time. It's such a short, simple little story, but it I don't know, it stood out to me. And the older gentleman
Never read it.
is described as a miser of sorts. You've never read A Telltale Heart?
I haven't really read any Edgar Allan Poe.
What?
Yeah.
The Fall of the House of Usher, Telltale Heart. What was the other one? I'm trying to remember.
The Raven.
But yeah, The Raven is, iconic. I'm trying to remember what else we did.
Cask of Montenegro? I don't remember. It's a...
The Cask of Amontillado! That was the last one! Well done! Well done. That was, the third short story that we did.
All I know is it involves burying a man alive.
That is correct.
Cool. Alright, you ready to start?
Yeah, on that positive note. Oh, wait. Oh, your screen left me again. Oh, no, and it's back now.
Seems like it just will decide to pop in and out as it pleases.
It's fine. I'll just
lock yourself in a cask and
I'm
have
just
somebody
lock
bury it
myself
in
in
the
a
wall.
cask. Maybe have some sherry wine. Maybe I'll get buried alive by someone that I thought was my friend. I don't know. Are you gonna bury me alive?
Yeah. I'm so glad we went to the same place. I don't need water when I'm speaking for an extended period of time.
I've
only been
apple
speaking to people
cider
all day.
and down east cider, so I'm properly moisturized.
Moist. And on that, hello and welcome back to Seropie'sShelf. I'm your host, Seropie, and joining me again today is Star-Lord. Say hi, Star-Lord.
Hi, Star-Lord.
There we go.
God.
Do we remember what we're doing? It's been a little while.
So what are we
we're
doing?
going through here, and I think my plan is, first off, make sure that we've beaten everybody that's over here. Second off,
kill them all. I mean, battle them with our Pokemon friends in a fair exchange of, I don't know, the Poke currency.
Of blows. Excuse me. Have we? This is still like rocket infested, right? We didn't do anything. There's a rocket right there.
Super rocket infested.
Discord's going to give me a whole bunch of notifications, which is great, because I'm sure that that's coming through in the recording. Oh, look, this is opened.
Hey, I mean, I can't hear any Discord notifications, if that helps at all. But, you know what I do remember the most from the last time that we played this is that you don't like to save the game, and we almost lost about an hour's worth of gameplay.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Is it fine?
Definitely saved.
Is it?
It's fine.
You stress
we
me
just
out.
loaded it up. We don't need to start it up.
You stress me out, Papa.
Is this hour going to be just me, because if we're doing this, right? I think I've decided that we're just going through Silphco, and if we're going through Silphco big, Silphco very big,
Silphco big, yes,
and like lots of stuff, lots of people. Oh, hey,
lots
that got
of
paralyzed.
lots of Golbats trying to woo you with their weirdly long tongues and aggressively twisted mouths. And I'm scared.
Gigantically
It's too bad.
expansive.
It's too bad. You look at that, you're like, oh, okay, it's a tiny little bat. I think we've talked about this already, but Zubats are massive.
Yeah, they're like 2.5 feet, right?
They're big.
For no reason.
I was just I don't know what the occasion was, but scrolling through reels online the other day, and it's like a chart of all of the original 151 Pokemon next to like the player characters, who I think are relatively short. I want to say they're like 4 feet tall, 4.5 feet tall. Does that sound right to you?
That sounds right. Yeah, because they're children. They're 10-year-olds, right?
Yeah, they're 10-year-olds. So 4.5 feet tall, right? And yeah, no, a lot of these Pokemon just absolutely tower over these player characters.
Yeah, oh, I bet.
So
I
it's
bet. That's probably
it's scary. I was just gonna say it's been a while. We're obviously both clearly a little rusty when it comes to this this run and these Pokemans and the power that's inside. But it's been long enough that the first couple of episodes of this series have started to air. If I may pull back the curtain a little bit. And yeah, if I may, I hate listening to myself talk. It's awful. I'm so sorry to you and everyone that has ever had to listen to me speak ever. The inflections in my voice, me moving away from the microphone, just doing like normal things at my desk, all of my all of my like generic affirmative responses. I hate it. And I'm sorry. You deserve better. The people deserve better. I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you can sit at a desk and listen to me talk and not want to jump off a bridge or just spend an aggressively long period with like a ghost type Pokemon in these games.
Spent an aggressively long period. What does that mean?
Well, we had talked about like how terrifying some of the ghost type Pokemon are in the Pokemon universe and how they literally like torment souls in the afterlife for all eternity or carry children away to their doom or
Yeah, I mean, look, listening to yourself is always an incredible trip when you start doing it. The only reason why I'm able to actually do this is because I've done it, not just in this particular endeavor, not just in making videos here, but I have listened to myself so many times and for so long, and basically starting in college.
Yeah.
Because getting a degree in linguistics requires listening to yourself and listening to how other people hear you and figuring out what your own inflections are and figuring out what your how it is that you make noises in a daily tone, and usually you're just like, cool, that's not something I really thought that I did, but I apparently do it.
I'm so hyper aware of it. Like I was telling you, my like generic affirmatives, like my acknowledgments that I'm like hearing you or recognizing what you're saying or agreeing with you. Oh God, it just makes me sick. You sound
so
great,
what about
though.
It makes you sick?
It's
literally just practice. It's you do it a lot and you figure out what you like and you don't like and you try to stick to that. So what is it that you don't like? I mean, you just listed a whole bunch of things that you don't like, but what could you do instead of that?
Right. So I'm gonna make it a goal for the rest of these episodes. First thing first is that I'm going to stay the same distance from my mic the entire time. I'm not going to be bouncing around my desk. I'm not going to be eating food. Maybe I'll be drinking my apple cider a little bit, but this mic is staying right here, and I'm not doing any of that other stuff. Also, I sounded really disinterested, at least to my ears, like throughout our first couple of videos. Mind you, I was doing a lot of research, but like I wasn't as engaged with what was actually happening on the screen as I felt like I ought to be. I'm probably being too hard on myself. As someone that has spoken to large crowds, that has performed on a stage in some capacity before, as a coach, like, I don't know, I'm definitely being too hard on myself, but just hearing it and hearing it played back to me over an extended period of time was just jarring.
That, I mean, makes perfect sense, right? But like, yes, you were doing research. It was all stuff that made sense when you watched a little bit longer. I didn't think that you seemed disinterested. I thought that you seemed like you were actively researching and trying to contribute to the conversation in that way. And Mare waxed out.
And there goes that
okay.
man. It's the goat.
And that's okay.
The goat.
Look, Pidgeot is
What-
way
what-
too strong for no
what is
reason.
it?
Unless it falls asleep.
What's the Pokemon called?
Pidgeot?
Oh
Pidgeot?
yeah,
I don't know.
you mean Pidgeot?
Pidgeot?
I'm coming
Pidgeot?
for you.
I don't know.
I am coming for you.
I don't know. I don't have any idea
You-
what it's
you
actually
can't
supposed to be
have-
called.
You can't have Rattata and Pidgeot. I simply no. It's
Hey, it's better
Just
than
too much for
Rattata. And look, it's better than it's better than a lot of things. Like
is it?
Arceus. I know that it's like a meme. Arceus instead of Arceus.
Ooh, yeah, no, that one. Yeah, I don't know that one. I think I just had a small stroke.
Yeah.
I like felt
Yeah,
that
that one's
hemorrhage.
real bad.
Uh,
I mean, that's the meme. It's so rough. It's just like, I guess, can we not please do this? Thank you. That'd be great. Thank you. But, you know, you get used to it, I guess.
God bless. No, another thing that I picked up on, I use like subconsciously, like I slip into like a lot of like voices, a lot of like goofy or like mimicry voices. My general like just vanilla tone is something that I'm also going to try to work on throughout these episodes. I feel like my normal speaking voice, when I'm not introducing any weird inflections or I'm not trying to like do a bit or like I think it sounds okay, but God, some of these voices I was pulling out,
You didn't like your
I'll be
voices.
better.
Look, as long as it makes you happy, that's the important part.
I mean, that is what this
And,
is all
I mean,
about.
it sounds
right?
like it hasn't been making you sounds like it hasn't been making you happy. So, so I guess that get good. I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's there it is, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. Get good. Get
good.
No, it has been to completely flip everything that I've been saying on its head. It has been cool, I've talked to you. This is something I've dreamt about doing or imagined myself doing in some capacity for ages. And so like actually seeing this stuff, I mean, this gameplay that you're performing, but that we are co-commentating on, I mean, it's kind of cool. I am actually getting to like live out this dream, and there are some learning curves. So I think I need to be more patient with myself. I'm definitely being a little hard. But
Yeah, and there's also a huge delay between when you're doing it and when there's actually any sort of feedback, because
right,
I'm not putting out anything the day after we make it.
Right.
I'm putting it out a couple weeks after we make it, like at the earliest,
Yeah. God,
so it's not something where you get it immediately.
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah, God, I was so excited when that first episode dropped, and it was, I think, maybe 10 or 12 days after we had recorded it. It was almost, I think, 2 weeks or so. Yeah, because we started recording it right around the same time that the last episode of your Blue Run dropped. Do you remember the date of that first recording? I'm trying to remember.
It's stored on my computer somewhere, but I don't have it off the top of my head because I still have the recording. I've referred back to it when editing a whole bunch of times. I want to say it was... I want to say that it was sometime in August. It was very late August, but it's been, a month and a half.
Yeah.
Since that happened. And we did a whole bunch of recording in that one session.
Yeah, that first session was what, 3.5, 4 hours long, something like that.
Yeah. So you did all of the things that make you uncomfortable now for 3.5 hours, and it's fed to you piecemeal in 45, 50-minute chunks. So
right
now you can finally hear it, and you can finally react to it, and change what it is that you want to change, and work on the things you want to work on.
Well, now...
but you're going to find that you always have something that you want to work on, like, even if you get very comfortable with sitting in front of the microphone and talking, which, as you mentioned, as we started, before we even started recording, it's very uncomfortable to sit in front of the microphone and get used to it. It just takes practice.
Yeah.
It just takes a while to get used to all of this. And, I just have you on for this one game. I would like to have you on for more games because I think this has been very fun and very very useful for me to have somebody to talk to, and very entertaining in general. It just makes it like a better experience to do it with people, and that's kind of a core element of why I'm doing this, is because of a lot of the people that, not just the games themselves, because the games raised me, but also the people with the games also raised me, and so doing it with people in my life is a lot of what it's about, right? So I would love to have you on for more games. So if you wanted to, but this is, great. We'll definitely take it while we have it.
Yeah, I would love to do that. If you would have me, obviously, pending, life gets crazy and all that, but I definitely had to carve out some time for Pokemon stuff, because this is my bread and butter, as you know. And but yeah, no, I would love to continue to do this. It's a lot of fun, and like you touched on, this whole channel, as I understand it, is kind of it's your shelf, right? Like, it's your gaming shelf. It's all of these games that you have collected, and this collection that you have amassed over the years, and a lot of the time, games that we play are directly a connection to some friend that we have, or a sibling, or, maybe like mom or dad was like super into like this activity, and it inspired like a love of, a certain game. And that's how that's any hobby where like collecting is involved, right? Like there's memories and nostalgia tied to a lot of that stuff, and that's what makes some of that collection all that much more important to us. So, it's a lot of fun, getting to come out here and experience this side of it again. I've pulled the curtain back a little bit again, but it's cool. It's fun. I like doing this, and I would definitely like to keep doing it if you'll have me.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's like, the games are amazing, and this is something that I realized a lot around COVID, when everything... I guess I maybe shouldn't say that word. I don't know, whatever, I don't care. Around that time, when everything shut down and you stayed inside, the game that I probably spend the most time playing out of any other game currently as an adult is Magic the Gathering. And if you take out the Gathering,
right,
it loses the magic.
Right.
Like, it really does.
Yeah. That's kind of like that, the whole idea of like the fireside, like come together, like trade cards. It's funny that you say that. I think, the game that I probably played the most of over COVID, and it was a lot of it was some of my first experience with the game, was Dungeons and Dragons, or Pathfinder in like different capacities. some of my friends banded together and we started a campaign. And mind you, we were doing it over computers and like through websites, but yeah, I mean that's what this stuff is all about, right? It's community and it's being together with friends. I mean, God, one of people make fun of me for this a lot, but like one of my favorite games ever is Minecraft, and it's not because Minecraft is all that. And don't get me wrong, Minecraft is incredibly cool, but you can sit there and play that game by yourself for a couple. What was that?
It's the highest grossing game of all time. It's
which is
it's
insane.
not something to make fun of people like
right,
this.
right. Like it is massively successful, and it is so for a reason. But I mean, the type of game that it is allows it to be this even more so. It's a sandbox, and you can make it whatever you want. But Minecraft with friends is the coolest thing in the world. Whether you're running mods or like just playing vanilla or creative, you're building something. It's just that time that we get to spend together that makes it that much cooler.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the best times that I've ever had playing Minecraft were when I was playing with people. I've had good times playing by myself. I probably spent the vast majority of the time that I did play Minecraft playing by myself, but that was because I didn't have people to play it with.
Right.
Like we're just not playing on a server. We were kids. By kids, I mean high school kids. So those of us who were able to have servers were, I guess, they weren't always at the servers. That was kind of the big problem. But it wasn't something that we all were able to just be like, oh yeah, let's like do this. Like we would get together and we would do it occasionally, but not 100% of the time. And that was also fine. Like you wanted to go off on your own. You wanted to explore your own thing without being in a place where people can view that and people can comment on it. That was fine. That was good. It was a great time. It wasn't that it was a bad time at all even. It was just that when it was with other people, it was significantly better. It was like a kind of like a gateway into really committing yourself to it.
Into all the rest of it. You know what would be cool if you ever felt like venturing off your shelf a little bit is Pixelmon. One of my roommates is an avid fan of the mod and everything that it brings, and obviously you and I's love of Pokemon, would translate really well. But Pixelmon is a really, really cool thing. It's amazing how far that mod pack has come. And if you were ever feeling freaky, we could make like a little like survival series or something.
That would be fun. Yeah, that'd be very fun to do. I would have to figure out how to work all the things together.
Right.
within the series, within the schedule of my regular
second channel coming soon.
The second channel. Hold on. First channel isn't even like fully fledged here.
Hey, we're getting views. People are watching this. Maybe it's just me over and over again while I'm falling asleep, but people are watching.
It could be. I mean, I would be very grateful for it. It makes me feel special when I see that it gets above 10 views, honestly.
People are invested in this god-awful Marowak, the goated Pidgeot, and our main man, our number one Carrot, who still needs a haircut.
He's never going to get that haircut.
He needs a haircut.
Oh, he needs the haircut. It's real bad. Did I fight you? I did not. I don't know where I am. I was just going up all the... I'm just going up all the floors, and I'm just fighting every single person in Self Company because that's where we are. That was the agreement. Is that we're going to be doing this.
I love it. Okay. You don't really need to like seek out all the trainers, but like if you encounter a trainer, I just meant like don't like avoid the trainer.
I did not understand that at all to be those conditions.
And
I've let
you live in this world that you've created for yourself, and you know what? I feel pretty good about it.
See, so there's no regret whatsoever.
That's right.
It's just I'm going to fight every single person in Self Company before the end of this. 100% of the people are going to be taken down by this Marowak or it's friends. That's
Or it's aw. I love that. I was thinking about it the other day. As I was watching you, as I was watching one of the videos. Um, I think the battling every trainer, like stylistically, I think my gameplay like changed, like in that direction. At some point as I was playing Emerald growing up, because I distinctly remember it was one of the ways that like battling every trainer in the game was how you got like a star on your trainer card, um, along with like completing the Pokédex and like a number of other things. And I probably have the most hours in Emerald as opposed to any other Pokemon game. I played that game to death.
Same.
So yeah,
Well, not the post game. I never played the post game to death. I played the post game a lot, but I would find myself getting bored. Like once I caught all the legendary Pokemon and I beat all the trainers at least once, I would find myself getting very bored and I would just restart the game and then I would play it again. And I would have 200 hours because I caught all the legendaries and I did all the things and then I just restarted it.
Yep.
And then I would do it again.
Yep.
And that was a huge portion of my childhood.
This was
just that game.
This was long before Pokebank existed or anything like that, when you just had to raw dog it out there with, hopefully a friend is willing to let you, like, send your favorite Pokemon. Like, maybe if you're lucky, they'll let you, like, send 10 of your Pokemon over and 10 of your favorites so you can, like, hold on to, and then you get them back in the next game or the next generation. Or it was a struggle.
The closest I ever got. The closest I ever got to anything like that was there was this neighbor of mine who she had Pokemon Emerald, she had a link cable, and she had a second Game Boy Advanced, and she said, "Give me your Pokemon Emerald, I'll take it and I'll give you all 3 starters." And I was like, awesome. And she actually did it. She didn't just take my Pokemon
Wait,
Emerald,
for real?
I feel like a lot of kids. She actually did it. She gave it to me and she gave me all 3 starters. And then I think that save file, the last time I remember seeing it, it had something like 370 hours on it because I was not going to restart because I had all 3 starters. So,
yeah.
No way.
That was, oh my god. I think I only ever got to do that once myself, but it was in Platinum. Yeah, there was something about having all 3 of those starters, like, fully evolved. You get them to level 100, and then we're all sitting around going, like, why is our game's internal battery gone? Like, why? Like, what? Why?
Like, what does that mean? Why is there this extra text box at the beginning?
Like, what? Like, do we really need to do this? Give me the Pokemans. No, it's, yeah. Oh, yeah, something about it. Back in the good old days.
Yeah, so... And then the only other memory that I have of that neighbor is her getting arrested. So.
Oh, cool neighbor.
That's it.
Wow, that's it.
She was like 15 and running away from the cops and tried to hide out of her house, and I remember her getting arrested. So
that's amazing.
That was fun. That was a good.
Well, then every once in a while, you'd find these kids like a rec camp or something, or like on a school field trip. You're sitting next to like some kids that you don't normally like see, and every once in a while, you'd find a kid that just has 2 Game Boys or 2 DSs, and they're just bouncing stuff back and forth. And you're like, I hate you. I want everything that you have.
This is an industry. Yeah. No, and if they have other. Of course, there are going to be other kids who want that exact thing. They're going to have all of their kids, all of the kids around them are going to be like, hey, could I trade with you? Because you actually have a link cable. And
Yep.
Yeah, that was, and then they were very busy, very popular kids.
Oh yeah, well they'd start like little empires, like they'd be like setting up like trade businesses, and it got bad.
It got wild. They basically became kingpins of their particular areas.
That's exactly what happened.
Schools.
Oh my god! In my elementary school, we were like my particular class, graduating class of 2015. So if you feel like doing the math, I don't know. When I was in the 2nd grade, I believe it was. So So I would have been 8 years old, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds
They,
right.
yeah,
7 or 8.
something like that. But no, our class
So
was
this was
so.
2004,
What was that?
2005 then.
Yeah, 2004, 2005. That feels
2004.
right. Yeah. The school was so concerned and teachers were so bothered by our rampant like Pokemon trading and like just talking about it like at all times that they made it wasn't mandatory, but it basically was mandatory. It was like an after school Pokemon like trading club so that we could like get it out of our systems.
That's amazing.
It
That
was,
is
it
not
was
at
kind
all
of
where
cool.
I thought you were
I
going with
mean,
that.
we would all stay essentially like 30 minutes after school. The majority of the class would stay 30 minutes after school to like get this out of our system. And the agreement was that we like there were like assemblies about this. We were a very obsessed class.
Very rowdy, Pokemon excited class of 10-year-olds, of 7 and 8-year-olds.
That's right. That's right.
Amazing. You guys all just were excited to get your own Pokemon in 2 years.
I just wanted to be the very best,
That's
like no one ever was.
Oh, I still have carrot out front. That's a mistake.
Violence, nothing,
All right.
nothing
Well,
for
it's
that.
fine.
All right, well, I'm gonna workshop that one.
Fine. Oh, no. I don't know if I heard it.
I'm gonna start.
I don't-
I'm gonna start singing the theme song. We're gonna demonetize your videos. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
Because they're gonna be singing the theme song. Look, I'm already getting like copyright claims on my videos for things that make absolutely no sense. It's
Like
literally just
what?
like the battle music.
Oh my
It's
god,
literally
are
the
you
battle
serious?
music, but like, yeah, people are like putting copyright claims on the battle music, or bots are, because nobody's
I was
watching.
just saying, there's like
these
10
videos.
people watching these videos.
But it's consistently, ever since I started playing Blue, there's just the same copyright claim on every single video. That's like, it's literally the battle music, and it says that it's something that absolutely it is not. It says it's like, it's like Bean Dance song or something like that. Like something absolutely
Oh, for
ridiculous.
the love of all that
It just doesn't make any sense.
I'm assuming Nintendo, like, just like they. What I'm guessing happens is that they dish out a certain, because I mean Nintendo is notoriously like, well, Nintendo and specifically the Pokemon Company, they are notoriously like one of the biggest like copyright, proponents.
They're
Well,
litigious, and they really love their IP, and they
don't
are in
want,
Japan.
they don't want
which
anyone
has
to
some of
touch it. They
the
don't want people to
worst.
think about touching it.
They have some of the worst IP laws in the entire world, and
Yeah, right.
it's crazy, and they
Mhm.
take full advantage of that.
Yeah, they do. They know
But-
exactly how to work the system. They invented the system. But yeah, so I mean, they probably just dish out money to like flag anything and everything Pokemon, and audio is a super easy way to do that. Just to remind people, just
Well,
to
that
give
was-
people like a healthy little, aha, watch yourself.
Just be careful. Yeah, no, that was exactly what I thought it was, and then I looked at it, and it said that it was like I said, like this Bean song. That
Beans.
it just doesn't. Yeah, because you'd think that it would say Pokemon Battle Music, copyrighted by Nintendo, like something like that.
Right.
But it was like this random copywriter that it absolutely is not, and it was like the Bean song. So there's some sort of bot going around that's flagging specifically Pokemon Red and Blue battle music, and it's saying that it is this thing that it 100% is not. And I don't know if that's my understanding from the little that I can get from the YouTube page, where it says this is why your video has a copyright claim on it, but it doesn't make any sense to me, like in the slightest.
I suppose it could also be like some grifter that's like submitted like some kind of like unsubstantiated claim to a song that they own or have the rights to, and like a cheap lousy attempt to like scam people out of money. I guess it could be that too. But
I think
so
that's
all
probably
you
what
have
it
to do
is.
is like dispute these claims, and then I'm assuming they just go away.
I have no idea, because I haven't tried it, because everything that I've heard about the disputing and copyright system on YouTube has been incredibly negative and painful
Yeah,
from everything that I've heard. So
yeah, that's generally what I understand too. Also, hi YouTube. But yeah, the platform's like notoriously slow and bad at resolving people, and almost always sides against creators, from what I understand.
yeah,
Which is just,
which I mean, I understand, like, financially, you know, they're trying to side with the people that actually make them
yeah,
money. Well, that's not quite right, but actually give them the money as opposed to get the people to give them the money. Yeah, if you're going to side with somebody who gives you money or somebody who does the thing so that you can get the money, if you have millions of people who are also trying to do the thing to give you the money, you don't care about knocking one or two out, you know?
Right.
That makes sense. Especially if they're relatively small, like, you don't care. You'd rather side with the people who are just like, here's $30 a month to run these ads that are definitely adult and absolutely should not be on this website.
here's
But,
your check.
you know,
I
there
don't
you
know.
go.
That makes sense to some extent. It also feels like viewership is everything. Like, viewership is what generates ad revenue, and the people that bring in your viewership are your content creators. I mean, that's literally their whole job. So
I mean,
yeah,
if it actually is their job, yeah. But for
right.
videos like this, like these ones, you know, where this is most certainly not my job, and I have a regular job, and if I didn't have my regular job and I were just doing this full time, then things would be
You hear that,
very
YouTube?
different.
Cut the check. Cut the check, YouTube.
I was looking into what it takes to become partnered with YouTube and, like, become a creator who is actually making money off of YouTube.
I bet it's not super crazy.
Sort of, like,
Twitch makes it. I mean, Twitch has like a whole creator program that I'm semi familiar with, just on like a surface level of research. I don't know how transparent YouTube is with that, but the Twitch requirements, like, to become a Twitch partner, it's not as insane as you might think it is.
You know, it's not steep at all. Like, you really, I was expecting you have to have at least 10, if not like 50,000 subscribers, and like you have to have this. It's really just like you have to have like a certain number of people watching it, and it's not a lot of people. Like, it's really like, oh, you have to have 1,000 people watching it, and they have to watch for a grand total of 5,000 hours. It's like, that's nothing.
No.
Right? Like, in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Like, getting to the point where you could do this as a career off of 1,000 people watching you doing this, like watching you make videos, that's wild to me.
I mean, it's pretty crazy. Well, and a lot of that comes down to like volume too, which is like YouTube Shorts is like the way of the future. Like, that's how the vast majority of content creators on YouTube make a lot of their money, just because it is so easy to make like a 10-second, a 15-second, a 20-second short, and bang out a couple of quick views, or they're just so accessible. And I mean, that's the content and the media that most people are the most comfortable consuming these days, because our brains are rapidly collapsing in on ourselves as a society. But anyways,
well, people have figured out that they don't want to sit down and watch long form things nearly as it's much harder to sit down and watch a long form thing than it is to watch 40 short 1-minute videos. It's much harder to watch a singular 40-minute video.
Yeah, it's all about volume. It's which is why a lot of new creators will have like a schedule where they'll drop like 1 to 2 videos a day, which is insane. Can you imagine the amount of editing and like work that because like you're not only like recording your games, but then you're editing the games, and then upload takes a while, and then you're researching the next game, and then you have to plan out scripts if you're trying to do it for real, and blah 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 blah. I can't imagine doing that full time. Like, I mean, new content creators.
I understand why it's a full-time job.
Yeah, I mean, they really work. Some of them put in like 60, 80 hour weeks, just doing all of that stuff and putting it together to get a polished final product. And it's a real job. It is 100% a real job.
Yeah, it's a lot. it's not the same kind of work where, you know, you're not breaking your back lifting up pallets or you know, out in the hot sun all day every day, but it's still work, it's still a job, it's still a huge amount of mental effort, even if it's not as physically strenuous as a lot of people, you know, because a lot of people hear, oh, I'm a YouTuber, and it's like, oh, poor you, don't you have a terrible life? Like, you sit around and you like play video games all day. It's like, that is really what I wanted a lot of this to be, and then I did it.
Right, but
and then I started doing it, and like, I'll play a video game for 45 minutes, and then I'll sit down for 2 hours, and I will edit, and I will make a not great video, but it is enough for me to be happy with it. But I've been editing for 2 hours, and I've been playing for 45 minutes.
Your videos are great, first of all. I think your edits are a lot of fun, and they add a lot of character, and they emphasize, I think, a lot of you and I's banter very, very well. I think it's spot on. There's so many more things that I want to do, and part of the reason why I don't do them is because I genuinely just don't know how. Right, yeah, you have to invest the time in teaching yourself, like, how to, because you're, if I may, you're just editing on OBS, right? Or are you editing on the YouTube?
I'm editing on DaVinci Resolve.
Okay.
Which is, it's basically a free version of Adobe. It does a couple of things that Adobe doesn't do, and it does them better, and then it does a couple of things. It doesn't do a couple of things that Adobe does, but I'm not willing to spend $100 a month, because that's what, like, the licenses are.
Yeah.
It's like $50 a month for, like, the basic one, and then if you want to have access to any of, like, their built-in whatever, you have to move up to, like, $100 a month. And it's like, I'm not doing that for this.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. But so I'm just doing, like, this free, it's open source, it's apparently a whole bunch of movies and things have been made in DaVinci Resolve, and it's like, it's really good. The more that I learn about it, the better that it seems. But here's the thing, I don't really like editing, is that I've discovered.
Yeah. I mean, nobody
like,
does,
I can
right?
get
like, that's why people, you know, shell out the editing to, you know, somebody else, or, you know.
Right. That's why you see creators, as soon as they can, as soon as they're making enough money to hire an editor on, they immediately hire an editor on, because
sometimes even before they're making enough money to hire an editor.
Sometimes before. Because it's so much work, and it's so specific, and you really are, in a lot of cases, going frame by frame through a video and figuring out where's the exact place where I want to start this edit. And it's really, really cool, like, conceptually, and figuring that out, but doing it over and over again gets difficult. It gets kind of hard.
Oh, I bet.
To continue to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of
part of the reason why
you would lose me. Like, as soon as something starts, like, sucking the fun out of something that I enjoy or something that I'm passionate about, I'm like, nope, we're just not going to do that, you know? Yeah, God.
And something I've figured out is I have to put an 1.5-hour timer on my editing sessions, because if I don't do that, if I keep going after an 1.5 hours and I'm like, I gotta finish this edit, there's this thing that I want to do, and I, like, it's really funny, but it's taking me so long to be able to do it, and then I get to, like, 3 hours, because I've sat down, I've spent an entire day, I've told you, I spent 22 hours editing one video before.
Yeah, which is remarkable.
It was a lot, and I hated it. I, like, came out of the other side, and I was like, this is awful. I don't want to do this every day. I don't want to do this ever again. Like,
were you happy with the finished, like product? Like, after you had spent 22 hours, did you come out of that, look at what you had done, and go, like, yes, this was worth it?
Yes and no.
Okay.
That we just got earthquake, by the way.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, that's exciting.
That's big.
Yes and no. It was something that I looked at it and I said, that is the absolute best that I could have done at that particular point in time. Okay. Is it the best? Is it what I really wanted to see for that video? No.
Well, and for
But
the amount of time that you invested.
for the amount of time and for how hard I worked on that one video, I worked incredibly hard on that one video, and it was fine. Like, it was totally fine. It was way too long. There, the cuts weren't nearly as clean as I wanted them to be. There were some things that I know how to do now that I didn't know how to do back then, and I know that I could do it better now, but I did what I could do at that particular time with what I had. And I was proud of it.
This video, if I'm not mistaken, it was essentially like your Let's Play Doom the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, when you put the whole thing together.
Yeah. Yep. And that was a lot. But like, now I have I only sit down for an hour and a half and I edit for an hour and a half. And clearly I've gotten better because I've started to get significantly more views. I mean, not particularly times, but it's just a lot. It's like the snake.
The snake with a neck that just appears out of its body.
Yeah, whatever the snake comes up, I have to.
Oh my god! Speaking of massive Pokemon, Snake and Cobra are massive. Absolutely. Arbok is like twice the size of like the player character.
What?
That's the one that freaked me out.
Why?
Oh, hold on. I'm putting my researcher hat back on. Don't be upset with me when I get farther away from the mic.